What's up, guys? We live in an amazing time where new and awesome sounding amp sims are being released pretty much every week. But what about those old amp sims that we hold dear to our hearts? Are they obsolete or can we put some life into them? That's what I'm gonna try to find out today when I use my old favorite amp sim, JST Toneforge Menace, together with their brand new IR-pack that's created with producer Joel Wanasek, called the Anvil IR-pack. So let's see what tones we can get out of it. Alright, so I'm gonna show you how I got the tones from the playthrough, and also gonna show you how I mixed the song. So first of all, we have the session right here. We have a left and right DI guitar for the rhythms, and we have one DI guitar for the solo. The bass and drums are pre-programmed and exported to save some CPU, and for the bass I use SubMission Audio Eurobass 2, which I normally use for bass. If I'm not going super genty, then I might throw in Gin bass there as well, which is also an awesome bass amp sim. For the drums I use the Get Good Drums One Kit Wonder Metal, just their standard setup, and I think it sounds awesome as it is. The parallel and master EQ is disengaged. Instead I used Drum Flex from Drumforge, which I tend to find works awesome on these types of drums. I normally have the mix on 100, but I could also use it as a parallel processing function and put the mix down to 80. And what I've done here is that I first of all have clipped the output so it acts like a clipper, which shaves off the transient and gives it a bit extra punch. I have a bit of attack increased, decreased some tone because I found that the tone was a bit too bright. I have it on bus mode without the punch engaged, and no compression as well. So it sounds really good. The bass, as I said, was pre-exported, but the only thing I did was to engage the amplifier and the distortion part of the Eurobass, and it sounded mix ready. It sounds awesome. So let's take a listen to how it sounds in the mix. On the master bus I have a standard mastering setup that I normally use, pretty downscaled with a mixing tool that reduces some gain. I put it into the BX console from Solid State Logic, the SSL 4000E. Put that into a BX Townhouse bus compressor. which has a medium ratio, 1 millisecond attack, and auto release. Has about 4 decibels of gain reduction. After that, I have the Pew Tech EQ from Waves, where I boosted some lows. That's pretty much it, to give it a bit extra beef. And last but definitely not least, I have my Flatline plugin, which is an awesome tool if you want to gain up your master without damaging the material. I think it works awesome for this type of situation. So let's take a listen to how it sounds. And the signal shading for the guitars are the same for left and right guitar. First of all, and the signal shading for the guitar is the same for both left and right guitar. First off, we have the Dr. Dry pedal from Audiority, which is a modern tube screamer, you might call it, where you have the attack at 2, level at medium, cranked up some brightness, and the drive at 0. I want this to act as a push into the amp, saturate the sound a bit, and take care of some muddy low end. After that, I have the Toneforge Menace set up like this. I have the pedal disengaged and also the IR, and subsequently after that also the EQ and limiter, which is disengaged by default when you disengage the IR. And after that, I have an instance of NAD IR loader from STL Tones, where I've loaded up the new Anvil IR-pack from JST Tones, and the IR I chose for this one was the Crunchy Mid 6, which fitted the song really well, and the guitar that I played and my playing. But in this IR loader, it's easy to just jump around, find the tones that you like, and stick with that basically. And I also used the pre-mixed version of the IRs, but I found that I had to tweak it a bit more. So on the guitar bus, I have some instances here. So first off, I have an instance of BX Console SSL 4000E, where I have a filter here at around 100 Hz. I've taken out some low mid frequencies, about 2 decibels at around 900 Hz, and that's it for that one. And after that, I have an instance of FabFilter Pro Q3. We're taking out some muddiness here around 360 Hz. Also somewhere around 630 Hz, 4.5 decibels, and around 1000 Hz, 5 decibels or so. And after that, I have my Magic Mag EQ4, which sounds awesome on rhythm guitars, where I have the air gain band here at 20,000 Hz. It's not really audible, but it gives that extra shine on guitars, and it's around 5 decibels. Other than that, they're on 0. And after that, it looks like I found some extra muddiness at around 300 Hz, and instead of going back and reducing the 300 value even more, I just added an extra FabFilter Pro Q3 there. Easier to tweak that way. And the lead guitar is exactly the same settings, besides a limiter in the front to even out the signal in front of the amp, and a different IR. This is the lead pack from the same Anvil IR-pack, and I chose the Monuments lead IR here, and it works really well for the song. All the other IRs sounds awesome as well, but I thought this one fitted the song the best. For delay, I have my classic H delay, which I've used a million times, analog off, and some filter here to make it a bit more lo-fi. That's pretty much it. Let's take a listen to how it sounds. Yeah, sounds pretty kick-ass if I can say so myself. The Toneforge Menace by itself sounded okay. We can just flick through some tones here using the Toneforge with the cabinet that's built in, and take a listen to how that sounded. So bear in mind that the settings that I showed you fit the IR that I chose. So I have to disengage the settings on the mix bus for the guitars here in order to give a more fair comparison what the IR sounds without any processing, basically. So let's just check out how it sounds. Yeah, it sounds really great, but I think I've gotten a bit more better tone with the other IR-pack. So let's just check out how that sounds again. Yeah, so the new IR had a bit more bite to the tone, and even though the old IR sounded great by itself, and I'm sure if you tweak the sound a bit more, you could maybe achieve close to the same result, but with the new IR technology that they have today, it's just basically loaded up and a bit some tweaking here and there, and sounds awesome. Yeah, so there you have it, an old classic amp sim together with a brand new IR pack, and the amp sim is as good as new. Thank you so much for watching, and if you want to support me, please subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever I release a new video, and until then, I'll see you later.